Stream Elements is here. Yay! And Moobot is here. Good, good. Alright, so for those that are new here today, we are following along with Bob Ross's Joy of Painting, Season 3, Episode 10, Campfire. Well, we're attempting to, at least.
I thought you were doing software today.
It's Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lost count.
It's Monday, it's Art Day.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, we need to do a defuzzing here. So, yeah, we're going to attempt to be following along with Bob Ross's Joy of Painting, Season 3, Episode 10, Campfire. Don't know how well it's going to translate to needle felting and if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but we'll see. We'll see. Just trying to get some of the excess red fluff that decided to attach. It happens. Not a big deal. And Russell's here too. Yay! Yay! Though Russell might have to run out in a few minutes. It depends. We're waiting for the vet to open their phones after a delayed start. Because we feel like Momo's still having trouble peeing. At least some of the time, and we don't know what's going on. And we don't know if there's something more happening here, or if he just needs a different antibiotic or more antibiotic. I don't know. Alright, that's not too bad there. Where's my... there it is. Okay. So yesterday, when we left off... Oh, links in the chat and pinned to the tutorial in full, by the way, for anyone that wants to see the tutorial without interruption, because I have it paused and muted, and it's not like running constantly because I can't needle felt as fast as Bob can paint. So I have to dig through my bucket of colors for this project. I was still transferring fluff over to the new bags last night, so I'm getting there. I still have a few balls of yarn that still need a home, like they're new colors I still have to do tonight. So we will see how that goes. So we're working on putting our pulled apart red highlights, if you will, that are going to be in the background here. Working on getting those in. So it does take a little bit of extra fussing because we've got thinner strands here, and sometimes that can take a little extra attention just to make sure that you've gotten them. Oh, great. So we're at the point now that I have paused in the corner on the tutorial where we're putting in all of our like campfire reflections in the background and light changing areas. So we've got the really deep dark red. And we're working on the lighter shade of red right now. Just kind of as we go across now. Definitely less is more, I feel like, when starting out. If you need more color thrown on there, that's great. That's fine. You can go ahead and add that if you're not satisfied with your highlight levels. But it's going to be so easy to overdo this so quickly that it's just going to be better to start out smaller amounts, and then if you feel like you really need to add that extra in, then go for it. But I think this is definitely an instance where you're going to want to slowly build this up, then just dive in, because it's a lot easier to add than it is to take away. So it is Monday, as stated earlier. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. We never lost power last night, so that was good. It really wasn't so bad, and in fact I think there was one school in our area that opened, because I never saw them listed on the closure list, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Apparently roads were pretty nasty early this morning when the kids would have been going to school, and I'm like, really? They didn't close? Everybody else closed. Very surprised by this, unless they reported it somewhere else and not to the one place, which I guess is possible. Okay. Alright, I think I want maybe just a little bit more in there. Not very much. Alright. So I did realize as I was going through all of my yarn, I actually have another color of orange. After we already picked out the oranges, I was like, oh, shit. So I'm gonna have to compare it and hope I don't have to do an emergency fluff here. We will see if that orange looks like it's gonna be better. I don't think it is. I think it's a brighter orange actually. So we might be okay. It might not really be an issue. Okay. Now, let me close up our red. Okay, so now let me find my mouse. So yeah, we do need a little bit of our oranges. Okay, let me grab our book here. Alright, let me see if I can figure out okay. So I was saying orange, blood orange, and bright orange. So orange. Not me yet. So orange, blood orange, and bright orange. Okay. Alright, so we'll grab our orange. This is just straight, regular orange. And we have to figure out where we want the edge of our flames to reach. Okay, so if we look at Bob's here, so probably have this kind of there's a bit of white in there, isn't there, when we got that pulled out. So if our campfire's here, let's say maybe we start that there. We'll see. How we can get it to look here. Wow, that is very bright here. Very, very bright. I'm not sure if this is gonna work out too well, but you know, we're gonna give it a good try here. Definitely see how this is gonna work out. Now this is gonna be in the background. So we do have to keep that in mind. Oh, Bozzies! You got your Chex Mix and your cam. You love the letter, by the way, and the description of the True Chex Mix experience. I will tell him when he comes back in the room. Yay, I got there early. Postal service coming in clutch, yo. My glasses turned up. Finally, we were gonna call FedEx this morning when we got up and be like, hey, I'm concerned. My package was supposed to be 2-day ship. It last showed it leaving California on the 18th. It hasn't been scanned since. Is it in a ditch somewhere? Did it just vanish into the void? Like, where's my package? This is a very expensive package, and I'm very concerned about its location. But it turned up in Kansas City, Missouri this morning. Go figure. I mean, eyewear is not cheap, no matter how you slice it. I've got 2 pairs of glasses that are just missing in the void that are like worth like $350 between the lenses, the coatings, and all that shit. I'm like, where's my stuff? They are now saying tomorrow. And if it's in Kansas City, that sounds about right, as long as it's not delayed any further. It almost seems like they threw it on a regular delivery truck and not an expedited truck and drove it from California. Because I was looking at the time to go from where it left in California to Memphis, thinking it was going through their Memphis hub, because that's the one they were saying was really, really delayed. And that was like a 26-hour drive, and I'm like, well, there ain't no fucking way that's gonna be here by 8 p.m. on Friday if they're driving it from Tracy, California. Come on now. I was like, make it make sense. But they're now supposed to show up tomorrow. I think he stepped out of the room to either get something to eat or to try to call the vet. The vet did a delayed opening at noon because of the roads this morning. And when we tried calling at noon, their phones were down. It said, oh, we're currently closed. And I'm like, what? You guys said you're opening at noon. Did this change? Your Facebook post said noon. However, they closed from noon to 1:30 for lunch. And I guess to catch up from the morning. So I don't know if their phones automatically go down then and they forgot to turn them back on manually. Or if they were taking that time to call people to reschedule. But I don't know. So this is just straight up orange. We're still working with Big Twist at the moment. Oh, the red wine that we just used was from Paint Box Simply Chunky. It's all acrylic yarn. It's not like it really matters all that much. What brand we were using. None of this is sponsored. YouTube still won't let me download 2 of my videos. And I'm like, guys, what the hell? I might try to go through Chrome. I've been going through Firefox and it's been blocking me. Maybe it's something on Firefox's end. We will see. So I'm glad you got your stuff. Fantabulous. It looks like we are going to be steadily warming up through today. So that is good. All this ice is going to get the fuck out of Dodge. Oh, they're not here yet, but we found them. They're supposed to come tomorrow. FedEx finally scanned them again, and they showed up in Missouri. Like this morning or overnight or something. So usually our stuff goes through the Kansas City hub, so that's why I couldn't understand why the Memphis hub would be slowing it down. I'm like, our stuff doesn't normally go to Memphis through FedEx. It usually goes to Kansas City and then goes to Lowell and then comes here from Lowell's distribution center. So I was very, very confused. I was like, man, no, that's not right. So, yeah, they did turn up. They're not like laying in a ditch somewhere on the side of the road or stolen out of a delivery van or whatever. So, at least they kinda turned up. Because we were gonna call them today and be like, hey, where's my expensive glasses? Because, y'all said they were gonna be here Friday. And then they just vanished into the void Thursday night. No idea where they went. I'm just concerned because they hadn't been scanned since Thursday night. And, I understand delays, but, you know, the fact that it hasn't been scanned since, where the fuck is it? Yeah. But we'll see. Right now we're trying to get a hold of the vet, I think. We think Momo's still having some difficulty peeing, so we're like, today's his last round of antibiotic, and I would have thought if that's what was causing the problem, it would have cleared up. Maybe he just needs more antibiotic? I don't know. But they were supposed to open at noon today because of the weather. Their phones were still off when we tried to call, like at 12:15, and then at 12:30, and we're like, did they decide not to open at all? They didn't update their Facebook, and they're usually pretty good about that, but they usually go to lunch from 12 to 1:30, so, and I think they close the office from 12 to 1:30 while they're doing lunch to get caught up or whatever. So, I half wonder if their phones automatically turn off and they don't turn back on till 1:30 and that they've actually been there. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Not sure how I feel about this so far. I was okay with the red, but this orange feels so bright. Well, I mean, we are kind of in the hot mess stage up here because we still have to layer in the trees and the shrubs up here on top of this. So maybe it'll look a little better once we get that kind of worked in here. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because, you know, it's going to be a little different with this particular medium. It's not going to be a dead ringer. For sure. It's definitely not. But we're going to try to get something that looks somewhat close, because this is a difficult one for me to try to pull off with this. I feel like, so we'll see what we can do here. I mean, everything kind of has a hot mess stage where you hate it. And you just kind of have to push through it and at least see it to the end, because it might turn around. And come back to you. Or at least that's what happens with me. I'm just like, I hate this. I hate this. What did I do? Regrets. Mistakes have been made. But I guess truly nothing really is a mistake if you use it as a learning experience, I suppose. Because it's like, oh, okay, well, I learned that, you know, maybe a different approach would be better here or better there. But some of them are more of a winner than others, I mean. That's just kind of the way it goes. Some do translate better to this medium than others, which is why I wasn't originally going to do this one. I just really didn't think I'd be able to do it any justice whatsoever, but we'll give it a shot. We'll try. I'm just trying to make sure we get most of our loose fluffies all tapped down. Like I've seen, and most art can be pretty forgiving. Yeah, so I mean, sometimes you can take that mistake and run with it. And, you know, that might change the direction of a painting, but that might also be like, oh, well, I hadn't originally thought of doing it that way, but, you know, sometimes you can just make it part of it and make it a thing. And then it can kind of just melt on in there. But we'll see. We will see. Kind of surprised how much white actually got mixed into this orange. I think that's what's throwing me here. And I've seen other people that do the roving, where it's real wispy and like fibery and pulled out, and it looks great. And I do it, and it looks like I'm just a mess. It looks like a little kid just kind of grabbed crowns out of the box and fisted them. Just went Farr! So at least, you know, sometimes happens to me. It's not what you intended, but yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I don't want to take the orange too far out to the edges because we still want a little bit of dark out there. Maybe he got in the shower. He's been gone an awfully long time. So tomorrow we'll probably take a look at the robot thing. I'm kind of enjoying that. Haven't gotten very far through the tutorial. I'm still kind of working on it. So there's a couple different maps you can pick. So we can just pick one of the maps that we haven't looked at yet. I've only looked at 2 of them so far. I'm okay with some of this orange being near the ground, because if the campfire is sitting here, I feel like the ground stuff would be picking that up a bit. And then I don't know how much of this is actually going to be visible either once we get our trees and shrubs and stuff put in here. I'm not even sure how I came across the game. It just kind of popped up in my recommendeds on Steam. So we'll see. And the way it's set up, you're kind of playing 2 games at once. And I know that sounds weird, but you're like running a town on the surface, and then you're also running like a mining operation under the town. It's not super complex, but there's a few moving parts to it. It doesn't seem as complicated as Before We Leave. That kind of got to me because you're managing multiple cities at once, and that kind of bugged me, and I'm like, this is too much going on for my little brain to handle. I don't like jumping between different cities that I'm running. I would just rather run one city and just stay there. Things get complicated enough, so Like, before we leave was just a little too many layers for me. That was a little too involved to be a chill game for me, put it that way. Timberborn did do another update I saw. They're still technically early access, but it looks like they did something called a Bad Water, Bad Tides update. I don't really understand that much about what's going on there. Something about bad water, bad tides engineering as well. I don't know if you have to build machines to kind of deal with rounds of water pollution or something. I don't know, but that suddenly seemed a little too complex for my brain to fucking cope with, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of enjoying the robots more than Timberborn right now, to be perfectly honest. This one seems a little more chill at the moment. It seems to be difficulty level Nisey on their balanced gameplay at the moment, so I'm like, okay, you know, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, it's like, I got this to be chill, and you know, if I'm... There you are.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Had some food, tried to call the vet again. Now it just says they're not available.
What the fuck?
No? Oh.
What?
Oh, crabby. Oh,
What?
crabby.
What?
I've got a crab who fell in. Here you go, buddy. Here you go. Oh, buddy.
Fell in?
Yeah, he went into the water and he fell in.
Did he just happen, or
Here, buddy. Here.
how long has he been stuck in there?
I don't know.
Who was it?
It was Chungus.
Earlier he was under the tree. Is he okay?
He's currently walking around without his shell. I'm backing out of his view so I can watch him.
Without his shell?
Yeah, he fell in, and the climber fell behind him, and he abandoned his shell trying to get out of the water.
Did you get his shell?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't think that those were very stable.
Well, I didn't realize that was going to be an issue, so...
You almost would have been better just siliconing rocks in there to the container.
Yeah, I know.
Did he get back in his shell yet?
I'm currently waiting for him to make a decision where he's going. I'm waiting out of his view.
Crab emergency. Where is he in relation to the shell?
It's right in front of him.
Is he on the ramp?
He's in between. He's on the front between the two water things. And I'm waiting for him to get in his shell before I come in there. I'm trying not to talk too much because he might be hearing me.
It would be Chungus. That like freaks out and just decides to not move. Yeah, he tried to make new ramps with some aquarium silicone so that they had an easier way of getting out, but it seems like the new ramp didn't work out. after all. Kind of surprised we haven't heard back from the vet because we messaged them last night too. Because we kind of want to get him back in there before we leave. Alright, so let's get a little bit more of this color. Now we still have another orange, two more orange colors, so, but they're going to be a little bit more concentrated closer to the middle. Yeah, pretty much. Was he moving when you pulled him out?
He's moving.
Can he see his shell?
I assume he can.
Like, do you need to put him in a tiny container with just him and his shell?
I'm debating doing that. I'm actually trying to find the other containers I had. I had a couple left.
I thought you left them in the dining room.
I thought I did too, but I can't find them.
Did you check on the black thing under the window?
Not yet.
It's either that or you moved them onto the metal racks. Where the hell? I know I saw them. Oh, Chungus. Chungus the scaredy cat. We haven't seen the green one lately. We think he might be molting. Or he's just really fucking good at hiding. We're gonna have to make sure that we give them a bunch of dry food before we leave. Did you find them?
Yeah.
Cause the dried seeds and stuff should be fine while we're gone. They shouldn't get too funky. Okay. So, I mean, it looks weird, but it's not too terrible. I don't think. Kind of looks light reflecty, maybe. So, the blood orange is gonna be next.
Okay, now where did I put that security camera? Trying to find that security camera so I can watch him without having the light on.
So he's still not in the shell?
No, he's still not in the shell.
So this one, I'm gonna kinda start to centralize about where our fire's gonna hang out. Wonder how long he was like that.
I don't know. It had to have been a little while if he fucking abandoned his shell to get out.
So I'll probably add another layer of this just to get this a little bit thicker in this particular spot, because this we want to be quite a bit brighter. I mean, it's not too bad. I just wasn't sure. I mean, this one definitely looks like more Indian yellow. Like the other one was definitely more orange. Oh, there's Little. Murr. She's been chatty today. Okay. The funny part is, by the time you get that camera set up, he'll probably be back in there.
He hasn't moved yet, which is why I'm still setting up that camera.
I was like, I still want it a little wispy. Oh, Boss said she enjoyed her Chex Mix experience letter TM immensely.
Good.
That was pretty good time to your place, Boz, from here with the postal service. Did you flat rate that, or?
No.
Huh.
It's just USPS ground.
Sorry about the the mac and cheese box. It's kind of what we had. Yeah, I mean, it fit. We had it. We didn't have to go get the box from the postal office, because they close for lunch too. Like, everybody closes for lunch around here. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess we don't have help to cover lunch shifts. They couldn't get away with that back in Jersey. People would be flipping their shit, because everybody goes to do stuff on their lunch break. They're like, what do you mean you're closed? And then we had like some, it's not really butcher paper, it's just some kind of paper on a roll that he ended up covering the box with. Because he went to use it, I'm like, you know there's a hole in the bottom of this box, right? He goes, no, I know, we're gonna cover it. And I'm like, okay. Alrighty. So yeah, definitely have this. Oh, and of course the trash men picked up today. I'm like, seriously? You guys seriously picked up today? It was late, but they did pick it up. I was like, of course. But they did walk into the yard and grab it out of the cans. Kind of surprised they did. Not all of them will do it. I guess it depends on who the driver was. least it wasn't like Trash Mountain from last week, so I guess that's something. Alright. So, let's see. I think we need to grab a little bit of this. And maybe kind of filter it out in that direction. Don't forget to check your email in case
I've been checking. Quite regularly.
Huh?
I don't think I have enough rocks to make ramp this steep.
What about the black ones? Can you do the black ones as the base and the white ones as
I am using the black ones.
the hand grippies?
I just don't have that many.
There should have been another bag in there.
I have 2 bags of rocks here.
The black ones and the not black ones?
Yep. I don't know if I've got enough to get them high enough. Well, I suppose I could use plastic. Oh, What I can do is I can use a cutter to cut some of this plastic down and use that as a slope that I adhere to the actual sides of the thing. And attach the rocks to that.
it's either that or we try to get to Dollar Tree and get another bag of those white rocks. 'Cause that's where they came from.
Bit of a trip.
Huh?
Bit of a trip to do that, or I go to Dollar General and just grab some bags
Bags?
of rocks.
Does Dollar General have bags?
They should have bags of rocks.
Well, you were
Pretty common
talking
thing.
about going to Walmart.
Yeah, but I really didn't want to.
Oh.
Really didn't want to. I can't remember what I was originally talking about.
The vapor rub stick.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe I should have done.
That or you try Harps to see if they have the vapor rub stick. I'm pretty sure it's just rain now.
Alright.
Just be careful on the bridges, although we still hadn't heard back from the vet yet.
Yeah, well, I've been trying. I'm doing what I can, huh?
No, I know, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Still nothing from the vet. They're probably busy if they only opened at noon. Assuming they even open. I haven't checked Facebook.
I checked it afternoon and there was no update on it that I could see. I don't think they decided to just up and close.
So apparently they're open. They opened an hour ago, but they're just doing appointments and then going home.
Okay, so they're not answering phone calls.
They haven't yet. I can try one more time, but
I mean, I guess we can hope that they answer us tomorrow. I really don't want to take him to Weddington. If we don't have to.
well, I'm not going to take a Weddington if I can possibly avoid it, because this is not an emergency. emergency thing.
Yeah.
He's still urinating and so on.
For all I know, he might just need another round of antibiotics.
Yeah. Oh shit, looks like Crab's still just sitting there.
But he did move, right? So he's not dead.
Yeah, he was moving when I looked inside. He was moving because he was trying to get up out of the water. So I quick scooped him and his shell out of the water, and he backed up from there, and he hasn't moved since then much. He might be cleaning himself before he tries to put himself in a shell. He might be busy trying to unwind from the panic.
He's also Chungus, who freezes up and doesn't move after.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and try to go and get my ass down to the dollar store, get some bags of rocks so I can glue them together. That way I can just have a rock thing that I can put inside that won't move. But it looks like he looks like his shell may have dragged down between the ramp and the wall. And it may have just dragged him down because the shell's too goddamn big for him. But he wouldn't abandon it. So that might be what happened.
Well, we're also going to try to find some shells while we're in Florida.
Yeah.
If we do end up getting in a day early, we might make it a point to head down to Treasure Island to go to that shell shop. It might be worth it. So we will see. So do you have them calling your cell phone in case they call you while you're out?
Yes, that's what they did last time.
At this point, I don't know if they are going to call you. They might just be trying to get through people today as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Although, it's not supposed to refreeze, so... Although, wherever Windows 11 is getting its fucking weather reports from... is smoking something, because they keep saying light snow and 39 degrees. I'm like, it's not snowing at 39 degrees, MFers. Alright, do you have your wallet?
Yep.
Be careful. I'm like, that's not how this works. And then at one point, Windows 11 was like, yeah, expect 3 inches of snow today. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? We had ice last night. And they're saying it's going to be 40 degrees tonight. You don't get 3 inches of snow like that. Windows 11. Where is this weather station that you are pulling these reports from? Because, it's just wrong, son. It's just wrong. You're confused. We're not that high in elevation. I mean, there's a couple places around us that are slightly higher than us. Like, on the outskirts of town. But not that high. Like, I don't know what the hell Windows 11 is smoking. But it don't make sense. So I guess we'll see if Chungus makes it again. Chungus has always been our shy one. You know, I kept looking at those rock ramps that he had made, and the plastic was kind of sticking up a little bit, and I'm like, why did you bother with that? You could have just, like, made a rock wall. Or a rock pile. Or a shell pile. I've got some other shells that they won't wear. Because they're not the right sizes. We could have just made a shell pile, I guess. But now the question is, does he have enough aquarium silicone? I was like, I know this word. So this mat does like to hold on to some of our fluff. I'm not sure if it's just more noticeable because the mat color is blue, or if it's just what the mat's made out of. It's not a huge deal. There is a part here that's lower than this part. I don't know what that's about. It's not anything that we can't deal with, though. I mean, if it really bugged me, we could just turn it over and use this side. This is the side that we had started out using. I just had to cover the name. I lost my cover. I was like, what the fuck? I just had to cover the name on the mat because we're not sponsored, so. Don't want any problems here. Okay, so we'll grab, this is Orange Bright. This is from Big Twist. See, Big Twist started doing the manufacturer date on there. Let me see. It might not focus on it because I got autofocus turned off. Yeah, when was this one? 8/2023. I think that's kind of cool that they started doing that. So this is a much more whitey yellow orange. Not quite neon. So we're going to make this a little bit thicker. In this spot here. A very large truck going by. Oh gosh, I was watching one of the news stations in Oklahoma last night. They've got a couple of storm chasers that are employed with them now year round. They send them out looking at potential wildfires at times or flooding, or they mostly are there to help them do tornado coverage, but they do help out with other stuff from time to time, and they had them out last night on the keeping an eye on the icy roads around the Oklahoma City metro. And they said some spots were fine and other spots were pretty treacherous. There was, like, this morning there was a whole line of semis just backed up on I-40 apparently. Because two of the semis in the lead of the line of traffic couldn't get up this one hill, and the hill wasn't really that bad. At least it didn't seem that bad. Okay, so he's got this a little bit more solid in this particular spot here, so that's what we're gonna attempt to do. And there was just so much, there's just enough ice that they couldn't get enough traction. So there was a whole line of other semis just stuck sitting there behind them. And they were showing like multiple people skidded into barriers on the interstate and stuff, and the dude driving their vehicle was like, man, there's like next to no traction out here. You could kind of hear him trying to get into the gas a little bit, and they just didn't seem to be going anywhere. Like, they were going like maybe 30 at the most at times, but it seemed more like maybe 25 on the interstate. So I was like, yeah, maybe people should like stay the fuck home. Debating grabbing a little bit more of that blood orange, but maybe not, because we're gonna have some yellow coming in here too. I'm just kind of slowly building this up into here. Because we want this to be a little bit thicker to be the brighter part of our fire area here. No, they never stay home. Absolutely not. Although I will say, I did wake up at one point last night. I don't remember what time it was, but I remember turning over and I'm like, huh, I don't hear like any traffic at all. And usually even late at night, even though it gets pretty quiet out there, you'll still have like one or two cars every so often. There wasn't anything. I was actually kind of concerned for how bad it had gotten since we had gone to bed. I was like, uh-oh. Now, either I didn't hear Momo try to wake me up at 4 or 5. I may have just passed the fuck out because I was tired. Or he didn't try to wake me up. We did end up giving him some pain medication last night because he was limping a little bit. He flubbed a jump onto my mom's chair. And we're like, no, buddy. You need to stay in one piece till we get back. Or otherwise, Grammy's not gonna know how to handle you very well. Or be used to dealing with you when you're in a mood of not feeling well. It's getting fucking chilly in here, I will say that. Ooh. Yay, finger protectors. think I'm gonna maybe fan out a little bit of this orange bright. This orange bright looks very yellow, doesn't it? Uh-oh. Twitch, what are you doing? Twitch disconnected me from the chat. Looks like it's back now. Twitch, what you doing? Wasn't an OBS thing, because OBS didn't drop any frames. Husband was streaming a little bit of... Fine here? Alright, it might have been my internet being silly. He likes to do that every so often. Husband was streaming something last night. Unexpectedly, he just kind of dropped it on me. I wasn't expecting him to stream on a night that he doesn't normally. What the fuck was it? I don't know. It's in the past broadcast down below. Some kind of spaceship game. Where you have to salvage spaceships for money. It's kind of like space power wash sim is how I kind of described it. He goes, kinda. I forget what he called it. Was it home something? I don't know. I'm like, really? You're gonna stream that? He goes, yeah. He goes, I was gonna play it anyway. He's like, I figured I might as well. And I'm like, alright. I was like, well, you have fun with that. I need to do the dishes. Because they're piling up again. And we keep running out of silverware since his mom's been in the house. He's like, how are we out of forks? I just washed all these forks. I'm like, I don't know, man. Don't look at me. I think I've used like 2 forks in the past day. I found out. I didn't know this existed. I found out. I don't know why I didn't think to check this sooner. They make flatware with little flamingos on the end of the handle. Like, not like shaped flamingos, but like engraved in where, you know, sometimes you'll see like initial silverware and stuff. Like, I guess monogram silverware would be better descriptor. But they've got it with flamingos in place of like somebody's initial. I saw it on Amazon and I was like, oh, husband, look what I found. And he goes, why do I get the feeling we're getting flamingo flatware soon? And I'm like, maybe. Maybe. We will see. Oh yeah, totally. I never thought to look for it before, I guess. I think I saw something. There's a Facebook page that has suddenly started popping up in my feed, and I don't know why. Because I haven't really searched anything flamingo related on Facebook, unless maybe I found the Butterfly Conservatory's Facebook page. Maybe that's why I'm suddenly getting these things. But I keep having this page pop up in my feed for flamingo holics, and I'm like, okay, I'm not mad about this. They were like showing, somebody's like, yeah, so I got the pink Stanley Cup, but I'm more excited about my straw topper, which was a flamingo. I was like, oh, I want that, but I don't do Stanley Cups, so. I don't really have a need for a Stanley Cup. Not really. I am planning to try to find a tumbler or something with a lid on it. Some sort of flamingo themed while we're in Florida. Can't find any up here. And I'm sure I could order one. But I had one like little cheap tumbler that I had gotten the last time we were in Florida, but the lid broke on it. So I've been using it without the lid, but I kind of need something with a lid for when I'm doing fluff, because the fluff likes to travel and then it gets in my drinks. And I can see the fuzzes laying on the top layer of my drink, and I'm like, oh, sadness. So I kind of need something with a lid on it. I'm sure I've inhaled more than my fair share of fluff. Russell gets mad at me. He's like, put a mask on when you're doing that. And I'm like, I try, but then my glasses fog up and then I can't fucking see. I will put one on if it feels like it's clinging to my face a lot. Lately it's been clinging to my shirts a lot more than my face though. Almost stole my blankie off the bed. Him and I got cheap $3 fuzzy blankets from Walmart for Christmas, because they were about the right size, I think, for his dog bed. And I was like, yeah. And then I felt it. I'm like, oh, I need one of these for me, either to use when I'm at my computer desk and my legs are cold, or just as like an extra little blankie to throw over my arm when the fan's blowing on me, so my arm doesn't like go fucking numb from the fan blowing on me. And he keeps, like, it's kind of like hanging over the edge of the bed, and he keeps getting at it with his feet and digging it down into his dog bed. When I walked past his bed earlier, I'm like, you stole my blanket again. It's like, you punk. I mean, I'm not using it right now anyway, so, you know, it's fine. Excuse me. Trying to keep this a little bit light, but at the same time, I do need it a little bit solid. Because in this particular spot, you can't really see through the glow here. Time isn't even 2:30. Okay. So we were gonna have chicken nuggets for dinner. Clearly, yours is better than the. Yeah, he's got two. He lays on the one, and I had gotten him two so he could swap out when I do doggy laundry, and somehow he has both of them right now, or the one's like balled up next to his bed. And we swapped out his heavier blanket last night for a different one. But he much prefers to steal mine. Like, every time I get a blanket, he steals it. I'm like, buddy, what the hell? Like, he has this big-ass plaid blanket that's way too big for his bed. Way too big. It's like a queen-size plaid blanket. I had gotten it on one of our trips up to Jersey because I needed a travel blankie. Because I'm weird about the heaters in the hotel rooms. Because it always smells like something's burning to me. And after the one air conditioner we thought was trying to catch on fire on us at the one hotel that was really sketchy, I'm like really nervous about running the hotel heaters. You know, they're usually just on for air conditioning. Like, I don't know, I'm weird about it. I don't like burning smells, even though if you can explain it and it's entirely fine, still upset me. And I'm like, yeah, no. So I was like, I'll just get an extra blankie. It's fine. I sleep better cold anyway. It's not like it's that cold in here. And I know they get used with like out incident 99% of the time. But my brain's like, no, I don't like this. So I had gotten this big ass blanket that was really, really warm for how thin it was. And it was just enough to make me happy. And then we came back from our trip and he stole it. And so suddenly I didn't have my black plaid blankie anymore. He took it and I was like, Momo, it's my blankie. We kept fighting over it for a while before I just gave in and gave it to him. I've been trying to sleep with this blanket that he keeps stealing, so he's not too upset while we're gone. Just kind of filling in that solid yellow of the background flame. Gonna need just a little bit more directly in the middle there, but that's kind of what I'm fussing with at the moment. You get really anxious about smell. Yeah, like I feel like a fucking drug dog in an airport. I'm like, what's that smell? What is that smell? I'm like, is that smell coming in from outside? Why does it smell faintly burny? What is this smell? And I drive Russell fucking crazy. Like, I was smelling a weird smell in the dining room earlier, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I walked into the bathroom, and I was like, oh god. He had used our sink in the bathroom last night, and it decided last night again it wasn't going to drain. And the water sat there overnight. And then he tried to drain it. He had to open the trap to drain it. And oh my god, did it reek. I could smell it like halfway across the house. I'm like, oh god. Like, why? Yeah, and no one ever... Yeah, like Russell's like, I don't smell anything. And I'm like, how can you not smell this? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, it smells like wet wood or something burning. Like, what is this? We have no fireplace. There should be nothing burning in this house. Why do I smell this smell? Like, what the hell? And, like, it'll turn out being like a smell that our heating system is picking up and kicking into the house from, like, a neighbor smoking meat or something. Like, it'll have an explanation. It's just, I'm like, the smell does not belong in this house. Why the fuck am I smelling it? So I'm like, start to have like a meltdown as to why I'm smelling the smell, and then I'm like walking all over the house smelling every single corner like a friggin' idiot. I'm like, where's the smell coming from? Where's the smell coming from? He's been chopping onions for my mom lately, and he sticks them in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, and I can smell it coming up through the freezer. I'm like, why? So, did you have any success?
I didn't bother going to look for the
Surprised you didn't try the Walmart right there by Dollar Tree.
I just didn't bother. I'm in solve crisis mode.
Well, maybe we can check harps later tonight.
Yeah, or something. I'm gonna turn the light on, lift the back corner here.
Alright, so we're kind of getting like a little bit of a dome, like not a dome, but like a valley forming here, so yeah, like everything is like starting to smell like onions to me in the future. I'm like, stop it! I'm like, why? I'm not a huge fan of onions, but just like a certain combination of smells will just mingle together from cooking. Like the other night, or maybe it was the other morning, the other day at least, I walked out into the kitchen. I'm like, what's that smell? Like I could kind of smell it in our room, and I'm like, something smells funky. And I'm like walking out into the dining room, and I'm like, where's this smell coming from? And I said to him, I was like, what is this smell? He goes, oh, my mom toasted some of her rye bread. I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least we know what it is. I feel so bad. Like, I have to approve, like, everybody's shampoo and conditioner and hairspray and deodorant, because certain smells, man, they're horrible. For me, some of them will trigger migraines. Some of them have in the past triggered like an asthma-like attack, which was kind of scary. That was a very violent reaction to that combination of smells. I think it was lavender and lilac mixed together, which is crazy because everybody's like, oh, how calm and soothing lavender is, and I'm like, not for me. Get the fuck away from me. Or at least bound with lilacs. No. That's a no-go. Okay, so we kind of got that in place. Looks nothing like Bob's at all. Nothing. Maybe like a very, I don't know, I can't even say impressionistic. It's like a crown version of Bob's. Let's go with that. Alright, so let me see here. I'm gonna have to let's hit play. And we'll see where we're at. We just cleaned a brush. Like, I've never really, like, I had a lavender candle at one point when I was younger, and it didn't really bother me, but it didn't really calm me down either, and I could barely smell it. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand the hype. Oh, we took that a little high, didn't we? Oops. That's okay. I feel like my light is flickering. It is flickering. Why? Why are you flickering, light? I need a better ring light. This ring light was on clearance for like $5. Alright, so we're putting in leaves, or trees, kind of just all over the place here. Ring light? Stop it. The flickering, man. Stop! It's like minutely doing it, and I don't know if it's even noticeable on the camera, but I'm like kind of looking up into it. So is he giving all of these leaves? Kinda. Okay, so we kind of take that one off to that side. That one's gonna kind of fade down into there. Can we like pull out just a little bit? No, I need a head-on pulled out. Bob, I need a head-on pulled out. This doesn't help me. Like, I understand that you need to be zoomed in here. Really? It might be a... Excuse me. Whew. They didn't do this 3/4 nonsense for most of the other seasons, did they? Because, like, you can't really see. Alright, so it kind of looks like over here we kind of have the tall things going over to the edge. And over here the tall things kind of stop maybe right in here. Kind of? Yeah, so like whenever we go to any hotels, I kind of have to smell the soap before anybody uses it, because some of them are fancy scented instead of just, you know, basic soap clean smell. And it's like, no, because the one place we stayed at, and I can't remember where it was it La Quinta? We've only ever stayed there once. It might have been La Quinta because they were pet friendly. Or that particular one was. And, stop it. Why are you flickering? And, they, I might have to change the port this light sits in. It might be the port. They had a lavender... Was it lavender? I think it was a lavender and verbena or some shit. And I'm like, oh no. We might have to change... Is this ring light in that new port that you put in?
Is this what?
Is the ring light plugged into the new port?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's flickering. And I don't know why. See? Just did it.
Are you seeing it on the camera or
No,
on you?
I'm seeing it in front of me. Just did it again. It's subtle. But it's doing it.
Well,
there it is again.
I'm not seeing it. We can try to plug it into the computer later.
Okay, it's like flashing. Okay, so how high are we taking this guy? Right, so there's no real rhyme or reason to this placement here. If you guys are seeing the flickering, let me know. Hey, Zorts. So yeah, it was like lavender and verbena, and oh my god, that smell was like instant headache. I was like, oh no, this smell's gotta go. And I thought I hit it, and then that was when the mother-in-law was traveling with us, and she fucking found it. I'm like, how did you find this? I purposely hid this for a reason. I said, don't use that smell. And she's like, okay, and then she brought it home. And I'm like, because I found it in a suitcase that she had stashed in her room when Russell and I were cleaning it. She had an entire small suitcase filled with soaps and shit from hotels. And I'm like, this is why her room always stinks to me. There's like an instant headache walking in here. How is Zortz today? So it kind of just vanishes. We need a... So is he still sitting there, sand shell?
Yeah, he's still sitting there.
Chungus has always been a little extra concerning at times.
Like I said, he was never willing to give up his extra heavy shell. I think it dragged him down, and he had to abandon it to get out of it.
Do we have anything...
I can't make him take a shell.
No, I'm saying, do we have anything that now he might be willing to take a different one?
Not really.
A lot of these look like they only had one arm on them. Oh. Oh, really, Windows 11? I don't believe you. You're now saying 40 degrees and light rain. I feel like that's like 3 days late. There's a shelf right here, which is why the camera's in the position it's in. Or partially why I'm zoomed in that far. Or else you'll be staring at the bottom of my shelf there. Zortz is off all week, so Zortz is good. Lovely. That's always a good thing. I'm hopeful that my glasses will be here and arrive in one piece tomorrow. For some reason, he only gave them like branches going off in that direction. At least it looked like he only gave them one arms. He gave a couple arms, but they're mostly just stickies. It is chilly. Now see, to me it feels colder in here than it should for it being 40 outside. So this is just kind of like And background stickies kind of just stop. Kind of just all stuck in here. Oh, right, so we were gonna have chicken nuggets tonight. And then we opened the bag of chicken nuggets last night. And there's not enough chicken nuggets to feed 4 people. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm gonna give Russell the remainder chicken nuggets. Probably Russell and the dogs tonight. And I had some chicken breast in the freezer, so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I actually have to cook something tonight. Or at least more than I had planned on. And looks like we'll be having probably honey teriyaki chicken. I think that's one of the bottles of sauces I have in the fridge. It's either honey teriyaki or pineapple teriyaki. I think it's honey though. So we'll have that. Probably some green beans and some mac and cheese. Okay. You can kind of see them going in there a little bit. It's dark. I know it's dark. This is a very dark painting that he did. Gotta remember to grab our camera bag and put it with our luggage because I don't want to forget that. And I think we have to make sure the batteries are charged. They should be, but I just want to make sure that they are actually. Uh-oh. I hear Tappy Toes.
Tappy Toes is gonna be a minute.
Huh?
Tappy Toes is gonna be a minute.
It sounded like he walked out of the room. I have to sneeze again. Damn it. Excuse me. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's been very, very windy. And now today I've got the sneezes. It would seem. I'm just kind of hitting in the background around these guys as we're going. Making sure everybody's still attached in there. Oh my goodness. What's everybody up to today? What's going on? I know you said you're not working, but you doing anything else today? Just vegetating? Nothing. Nothing planned. Huh?
Oh, Momo was chewing. And he's still just staying there. Dude, real upset if you stay out there and get yourself hurt for it.
Well, what can happen to him if he stays out of the shell too long?
He dies.
Okay.
Humidity's still good and the temperature's still good, so he should be fine for now, but if he's out of there too long, then he'll just expire.
So you don't know if we have a shell that we can put in there that he might go after instead now?
If he doesn't go into his shell voluntarily by the time I'm done doing this, then I'm probably going to take one of these other containers and rinse out all, like, his shell and every shell I can find close to its size.
Mm-hmm.
And then put him in it with it and cover it.
Mm-hmm. We had a crab trauma earlier. We're not sure what happened, but somehow he ended up in the water outside of his shell. And now the dingus is refusing to get back into his shell. So he kind of like just did a suggestion of like tree trunks in the background, it seemed. Maybe. Maybe the shock's wearing off. I'm not sure how long he was in the water outside of his shell. Russell just kind of happened to look over and saw it. I know it couldn't have been that long, because when I got up this morning, I didn't see anybody near the water. And pretty sure he was still under his tree. That he seems to have claimed for his space. We think the green one, the tiny green one, we think he's still molting. Or went to molt. Which can take weeks. Either that or he's hanging out with Gigantor in Gigantor's cave, which is entirely possible. Because Gigantor likes to come out when we're not paying attention.
So he is actually, like, slowly investigating his shell again.
Okay.
If he does get into it, then I'll just nudge him into his quiet corner that he prefers.
Okay.
And then go clean up the shells and put them around him in case he needs something different.
Okay. Are you working on a different water system?
Yeah, I've got to let it dry for a while, but meanwhile, I'll probably pull those and just temporarily put, like, a couple shallow dishes or something in.
Okay.
Not enough for them to drown themselves in.
Like, are the ones you have just too deep?
They're too deep, and I didn't account for the fact that Chungus couldn't really lift his shell properly. So, again, he tried to go in the water on the ramp I made.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, do you need to just go back to the shallow dishes to begin with? Or...
Well, they have to have enough water to submerge themselves long term.
Mm-hmm.
So, it can never be that shallow. These are deep enough, however, what I just picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I've now, like, glued rocks into place.
Oh, you picked up new bowls, too?
Yeah, I picked up new bowls. They're shallower, so even if the glued rocks don't stick, at least it's shallower. I'm pretty sure he can reach out of here without help.
Okay.
But, But yeah, so ultimately, if he does get in his shell, then I'll just have to go and clean up those other shells in there and give him an option. But
hi, Momo.
Give me a second, Momo.
Do I need to get them?
Let me just put these up where they can't be disturbed so they can dry.
Okay. Gotta take the car to the mechanic in the morning. Oh boy. That's always a nerve-wracking time. Hi, bud. Give us a minute, Momo, okay?
I'm coming, Momo.
Momo, buddy. Come here. Hi. Do you have a happy tale for me today? Huh? Hi, buddy. What you doing? Huh?
Okay, Momo.
Let's go with Dad.
Come on, let's go peepers. Let's have a look, see how you're doing. Oh, stretches. Oh, good morning. Hi. Oh, stretches.
He is a stretchy puppy. He has to do all of the yoga poses before he can get into his harness.
Daddy, fucked it up.
What'd you do? Put it on backwards?
No, I missed the leg hole.
You may not have missed it. He may have moved his foot.
I didn't think I saw a chance for him to move his foot. Okay. Yeah, good boy. Okay, buddy. Let's go peepers.
Because he likes moving it last minute on me. Alright, so this side definitely seemed to have more of these guys in the background. Well, hopefully it won't be as bad as you're thinking it's gonna be, unless you've already had this work that you're getting done quoted. But hopefully there won't be any nasty surprises. Because that's never fun. Alright, we can just kind of barely make out our tree trunks there. I really want my glasses. I really want my close-up glasses. It's A, to see if my eyes feel a bit more comfortable. And B, so I know whether or not I need to go back and be like, yeah, these didn't work. So how did we do? How did we do?
Not as good as he could be. So we're still going to take him. Hey, I'm going to get you your goodie. Just got to give you a second.
Alright. Okay, so that one kind of like goes off to there. These guys over here, he kind of stops. Like here. He doesn't go all the way over on these ones. Or at least it doesn't seem like it. That's like not the impression that I was getting. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess about there. So did you get the same rocks, or?
As close as I could get. They only had the ones in the plastic bags, but...
How were the roads? How were the roads?
Not too bad. Just wet. Raining.
Well, that's an improvement. Now you just need the car to hang on for a few more months. We're closing Dad's estate this week, so you should get some. Okay, well that's good. That's something. Our car's not doing half bad, considering the amount of miles on it. For the battle damage that's on the outside, we have been trying to get it maintained when we've been able to, and I'm pretty sure we've gone over 100,000 miles this week, or it was last week. But those were not all ours. What was the mileage when we got that card?
Huh?
What was the mileage on the car when we got it?
I do not remember. I wanted to say it was 800,000 or something like that.
That's not possible. If it just hit 100,000.
I don't know then, hon.
Maybe 8,000. Momo's gone off to the other room. Alright, so we'll get this guy. And these guys are kind of sitting slightly on top and slightly vanishing behind. Some of this light in here. Okay, let's see. We got this kind of chunky piece right there where it didn't quite brush out as smoothly as it could have. That's okay though. This guy will just be a little bit thicker than his buddies. So yeah, I'm looking forward to dinner. Why am I not looking forward to dinner? Only had a yogurt when I got up though, so kind of hungry. Gonna make pizza tomorrow. Pizza and robots tomorrow. Thought I heard him walk back in. He must have changed his mind and walked back out. Alright. So these are all of our background trees. This feels like total chaos going on here. Guess it kind of is. Alright. Get another little bit here. We don't need too much more of this. At least at the moment. We will need to revisit this color later, for sure. But we're going to use a different color for the leaves. Different dark color.
Okay, so he is in his shell now.
Is he?
Yep.
Alright, well that's something.
It's a start, so.
Maybe he was still trying to figure out what the fuck happened. He does seem to take his time with stuff. Okay. So we're definitely still in a hot mess stage in this section. All of the dark is making it hard to see the different levels of dark. We'll say that. Alright. Whew, it is getting chilly. Which I don't understand, because it's warming up outside. Why is it getting colder in here? What the hell? That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Okay. So, just gonna brush down the back of this. The back looks rather impressionistic, doesn't it? The back looks pretty artsy-fartsy all on its own. Alright. You okay, my guy? You alright? Okay. Alright. Now. Oh, damn. Is it really? The rain just keeps increasing. It's just gonna rain all fucking night. We're up to 42 degrees though, with it feels like a 37. It's a heat wave, you guys. It's supposed to rain tomorrow too. And Wednesday we're supposed to have fog. Alright, now. Where are... Oh, so now we're gonna do our dark on our trees. So I'm gonna go with this burgundy color. I'm gonna kind of pull it out a bit. And then let's see if we can kind of like circular it just a little. Okay. So we got like our burgundy color here. So I wanted to go dark, but I didn't necessarily want it like the tree bark dark. Wanted it to be a little bit lighter just so we can tell that it's a different shade hanging out up in here. Alright, now, so we're going with small amounts here. So wispy, and then we're gonna kind of spin it a little bit, just to kind of give us our fluffy kind of tree shape here. And these guys can kind of overlap each other. Although I'm thinking maybe we should be well, no, we might be alright. These are just kind of here. Sort of visible, sort of not. I was almost having the thought of maybe we should be highlighting these while we're putting the base color in. Maybe not. Maybe we don't need to. That one got a little flat at the top. I didn't want it to look like we cut the top of his leaves off here. This isn't a flat top. Kind of want it to be more like we're just going off out of frame. Alright, so there's that. Okay. And then there's like some other bits where he's got like some stuff just kind of hanging out like halfway down a little bit. places. Trying to work a little bit small here. Not all of them have it though. Only like a couple spots. Alright, so we'll get this guy. Where it's into here. So where did you put him in a container in the tank?
Sorry, what was that, dear?
He's in a separate container in the tank?
No, I didn't separate him yet. I wanted to see if he would willingly get in on his own.
Oh.
I'm waiting for him now to get away from the water bowl, so I can swap water bowls with something to shower.
So what, he's just sitting there?
Yeah.
Like he does?
Yep. The shell is where I placed it last.
Mm-hmm. That could be hours before he decides to move.
It might be.
Alright. Well, at least he's back in his shell. That is progress. Definitely a step in the right direction. We'll get this put into here. I might have to put my space heater on. I am so cold. I wonder if it's coming up through this vent. We have tape over it. And Russell said he was always cold over here. Either that or it's just seeping in around the door and the window, which is entirely possible. And yet entirely aggravating, considering we can't even open this window. It doesn't look like it's nailed shut, but it could be. Or there's just that many layers of paint on it. Rather irritating. There goes that light again. I actually don't think it ever really stopped. I think it might just be this light. Don't know if my replacement nightlight's gonna show up before we leave. I'm so sad my $3 one broke from Temu. It was just enough. But I should have guessed. It wasn't gonna last long. Whew. Oh, that wind is kicking. So I had gotten this flamingo wind chime that had these like propellers on either side of the body that were, I guess, supposed to be like the wings that would spin in a circle when the wind blew, but it was also a little bouncy for some reason. And I noticed today, or no, was it last night? Might have been last night. I noticed that two, like on each side of the body, the little spinny pinwheel wing things, either one or two of the little spinny spokes on it, I guess, were broken off. And I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? That one likes to go airborne though, so it may have been broken for a while and I just didn't notice. Or it just didn't sink in. That something was amiss here. When I was looking outside last night, I happened to notice that the little spinny doos on the wings looked lopsided, and I was like, huh, why does that look funny? I forgot I didn't want this. I didn't want that sneaked necessarily. Alright, gonna have another little shrubby guy over in here. We can kind of see our dark shade in there, kind of. Alright. Ah! Okay, look. I know you guys are volunteering, but I don't think I'm gonna need all of you to volunteer. What time is it? Okay. I'm really hungry. My stomach's growling. It's kind of distracting. Alrighty. Get this guy worked into here. What's the matter?
Nothing. Loretta's gonna be coming back tonight, so I had to help my mom move the put her TV back.
Oh. Oh, right. For a split second, I'm like, who? Oh, goody. Wait. Are you fucking shitting me? Why? It's not that she's coming back tonight, so that's the mother-in-law's sister that's been doing the RV. Oh my god. Why do they insist on doing this shit this late in the day? Y'all. Her sister attempted to put antifreeze, or did put antifreeze in the water lines for the camper to try to keep the lines from freezing. They froze anyway because she didn't put enough of it in. If they're gonna stay out there tonight, they're gonna have to flush the antifreeze out of all those lines. Oh my god. It's gonna be done in the dark, depending on what time she gets back, in the rain. And that means that I'm not gonna have Russell's help for dinner, because they're gonna start dicking around with all of this right as I've got his dinner done, which happens every time lately. Right. Can they even flush that down the sewer line? Does anybody know? Because that's the next thing. I don't think the city's gonna be real fucking happy. Oh, bother. It's always something. I need to get the fuck out of here for a couple of days. All right. Well, I think I need to go find out what exactly is gonna happen here. So I think we're gonna stop there for today. We didn't do too bad. We got some more of our colors in. We've got our bright, honking bright spot here. It still looks a bit of a hot mess, but we still have to highlight our trees. I know they're kind of hard to see. We still have some more trees to fill in over here with our leaves and stuff. And then we'll highlight those guys, and then we'll pick up from there next time. Like I said, we'll see how this goes. I don't know. We still got some more shrubs and shit that are going to be coming into here. Maybe I made that too high. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying. This one's a little out of my element, I feel like, but we're attempting, which is all we can do. So I will see you guys tomorrow for a bonus stream at some point, migraine permitting, of course, where we take a look at that robot build sim thing. Like survival, trying to escape the planet thing. So, Steam World Build, I think is what it is now. I think I finally got the words in the right order. So I will see you all tomorrow for that at some point. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. Everybody stay warm, stay dry, stay out of trouble, and I'll see you all tomorrow.